In this video I'm going to show you how to do an amortization table, and this is a simplistic one where you are not allowed to change any information and all variables stay exactly the same throughout the period. So with any amortization table you're going to need a present value, you're going to need an interest rate, you're going to need the number of periods. So let's take, for example, our present value is 100,000, our interest rate is 10%, and our periods is 60. So a normal amortization table works from the first period up until the last one. Well, actually from period 0 up until the last one. So let's just put in all our headings. So the first one will be period. The next one will be capital amount. Then we can have the payment amount, the interest portion, that's not right, interest portion, the capital portion, and for a simplistic amortization table, this should be perfect. So let's just fix the headings. Now any amortization table always starts at the period 0. Then just do a 1 there, and then we've got 60 periods in this specific amortization table, so let's just copy that down till we get 60. Okay, and in period 0 our present value is always 100,000. Well, let's just make it equal to that amount there. So that is always our starting capital amount in period 0. So now the first one we need to calculate is what's the payment based on our variables. So let's do a payment formula. I'm going to open the formula function bar. So my rate is 10%. Now you either need to divide the 10% by 12 to get to a monthly interest rate, or keep it at 12. If I don't divide it by 12, it's going to be a 1 yearly payment. We obviously want a monthly payment, so I have to divide by 12. The end period is, as you can read here, is the total number of periods. So the total number is 60. My present value is that. And I have to fix, because when I'm copying down, it needs to stay at that variables. So my payment is going to be 2124. And that will be exactly the same for every single period. And obviously I can't do it in period 0, I have to do it in period 1. Because I don't make a payment on the first day, I make a payment on the last day, which is every period starts on the first day, so it's the last day of the second period effectively. So then what is my interest portion? Now you can only calculate the interest portion for a specific period at a time. So let's start the formula for that. So a lot of the variables is exactly the same, the rate works on the same principle. The only difference, let's just put everything in that we know. The end period is the same, the present value is the same. Now the period, let's see what it says. Period is the period for which you want to find the interest, and must be in the ranges of 1 to n. So it must be somewhere between 1 and 60 in this example. You can only calculate the interest portion for a specific period. So if I've made a payment of 2124 in period 1, then I want to know what interest that I pay in that specific period. So I want to say I'm selecting period 1. That will then tell me that I've made an 833 interest payment. So what's my capital portion? It's just that one minus that one. So of my 100,000 loan, I've paid off 1291. So what is my capital amount end of year of period 1? Is that one plus my capital portion. So that's my outstanding capital amount. So now if I copy this down to the end, if you did this correctly, on the last period, your capital amount will be 0. So what's nice, you can see how your interest decreases as you go along and your capital portion increases as you go along. So it's a nice way to look at this. So the test is always make sure that on the last period, your capital amount is 0. Then you know you were correct.